Houston, we have a problem. 40 years ago today, the Challenger 7 was taken to heaven, higher than they ever could achieve on the space shuttle. In 1986, 40 years ago, I was set in 8th grade with the Onizukas and the Smiths. Maybe you remember those names. And Secret Service came in. NASA officials came in. They shut down the TV and they took all of us and we had to talk to counselors. The Smiths were taken out of the school. The Onizukas were taken out of the school because NASA chose to fly the shuttle on a day that was too cold, all while knowing that the O-rings were going to fail. 1986 is the day that I hated NASA, that I started hating NASA. You see, my coach, Colonel Butchy, he flew our patch on the space shuttle, the Seabrook Sharks. And I played football with Commander Bolden, J.J. Bolden from Clear Lake High School. I graduated at Clear Creek High School. I knew Sally Ride. I had all their autographs. I dated the head of Mission Control's daughters. I knew all the astronauts. I fell in love with Molly Fullerton. I think that was her dad's name. Molly, you'll have to let me know. I can't remember, but God, Molly, I loved you. Remember that night with me and you in the park and we kissed on the swing, and Kathy Clancy, her dad was with NASA and we got in trouble. Folks, I've got such great stories. I'm gonna cry. But you know, that trauma from that day, that bond that we had in 8th grade, man, it takes me back right now, 40 years. I'm right back in that spot. Right back in there when we witnessed people that we knew pass away. And then I became a military veteran. When I went into the military, the Navy in 1991, and I learned what lies were. I learned that some people don't tell the truth. And that's the government. And now I'm a conspiracy theorist and an investigative news reporter on KCAA radio, an NBC affiliate. The name of my show is Sacred Awakens. I'll be on Indy 100. But see, nobody wants to tell the real stories. You know, there's a conspiracy that the 7 astronauts are alive. People have even posted Facebook photos of them with similar names. Do you think that's true? Onizuka, please respond to this, would you? I love you, man. You know how much you mean to me and how much your father meant to me. Smiths, love y'all too, right? Molly, love your dad. He's no longer with us. You know, but what does that do to the family? Like, if that's not real, what does it do to the family? And if the family sees it, how do you think they feel? Now, what if it's true? And as an investigative reporter, I'm here to present both sides. What if it is true? So then NASA lied to these families and they thought that their families were dead? You know, I don't know, but I don't trust NASA. I never have, just like I don't trust the government. I don't trust anything to do with it. And I'd like to get to the bottom of the conspiracies. I want to know what's true, because what's true for me may not be true for you, right? But as somebody that spent his life in and out of NASA, I actually taught several of the astronauts how to swim before they could go into the neutral buoyancy lab. Saved a couple's life that didn't know how to swim. I have been close to every contractor that worked at NASA. I've known thousands, right? And growing up in Houston, growing up in Clear Lake, we are in love with space. We're in love with the space program. We were taught to believe NASA. We were taught to believe our teachers. We were taught to believe the lies. And I do think that there's more to the shuttle disaster than meets the eye. I think that NASA should have been sued. I think that they should have been held accountable and gone to prison, right? Because they knew. And that's the sad thing of today in remembering the truth. A lot of you just saw 7 people that you didn't know pass away, explode, right? Gone. And nationally, it bonded all of us together. But see, in Clear Lake, Seabrook, and NASA, right, and Space Center, Space City, what is more of Houston, by the way, Houston, NASA is in Clear Lake. Ellington Field is in Clear Lake. We got bonded together for eternity. because that was my family. Onizuka was my family. The Smiths were my family. The Boldens were my family. All the astronauts were my family. That they were my brothers and my sisters and the children that I grew up with. And we all got our hearts broken that day. God damn it. So yeah, I became a fucking radio talk show host and a investigative news reporter to get to the bottom, right? To ask some of the NASA officials. But a lot of them have passed away. A lot of them have died, right? So, again, I ask you, what happened that day? What do you believe? Are the astronauts alive? Did NASA all dupe us? Did NASA land on the moon? What is true for you, right? Is growing up in Clear Lake, I know what's true for me. I know what the astronauts were. I saw it. I was a part of it, right? I've been in every room in NASA, even under that NASA, no, sorry, love you. I've been under there, right? There's tunnels under NASA. I was there when they brought in the Apollo and put it at Johnson Space Center. I watched it come in. I watched the shuttle move several times. I watched the shuttle land. I knew the pilots of the shuttle personally. We were friends. It was my coaches, right? And teachers. But America just sits there and it's just another fucking day to them, right? And then people talk and people make lies up, disregarding the family, the friends, the survivors, all of us in Seabrook that were bonded together on this day 40 years ago, man. I love every one of y'all. I've changed. I'm crazy. I became a rebel, y'all. I became a radio talk show host, a national podcast host, so that I could stand up, put my life on the line and say, hey, NASA, I think you're a fucking liar. Yeah, I'm the voice for the Onizukas. I'm the voice for the Smiths. I'm a voice for people, astronauts, veterans that are no longer here. They're here in spirit. Because I became one of the 22 and took my life. Sure did. And then I went to God, and she took me back and said, son, I need you to go home. I need you to be the voice. I need you to stand up. I need you to show the world what it's like to be a veteran. Put down your arms. Sell all your arms. I did. I don't have any guns. I sold them all. Right? I tell the truth. I paid for it. They found me dead in Galveston for speaking the truth. True story. I had contracts put on my life by the police. True story. By my ex-wife's husband. True story. Drug dealer. Major drug dealer. And I survived. Survived all of it. The day I didn't survive is when I decided to take my life. Yeah. That was almost 5 years ago. March 23rd, 2021. That's when I gave my life to Creator. That's when I became an angel of life, a voice. It's in the Bible that Gabriel would one day be the voice, and I am the voice. And I'm not scared. That's the difference between me and most people, because once you've died, what you're going to send me to heaven? Okay. No. Aye, please do that. Right? Heaven's a beautiful place. In heaven, we love each other. In heaven, there's mercy. In heaven, there's grace. In heaven, there's abundance. In heaven, we all get along. In heaven, all the masculine and the feminine, and all that is masculine and feminine, every version, every animal, everything you can think of, we all get along. It's a symbiotic relationship. It's called love. Something that I wasn't shown as a child. And I didn't have a good relationship with my family, but I had a great relationship with my friends in Seabrook. I mean, and what's crazy is, until recently, almost everybody from Seabrook has stayed in touch. We love each other, right? We still are a part of each other's life. So think about that. I'm 53 years old, and I've had that many friends for that long. How many of you can say that? Raise your hand. Right? Now, they turned their back on me when I found God, because I came back and got a mohawk and started getting tattoos and started talking differently and started acting differently. But after you die and you return, you realize that you're going to do what you want to do. You're going to be what you're going to be, right? You're going to speak. You don't give a fuck, right? I don't care about anybody's feelings. I care about mine, right? And I care about the truth. And truth will set you free, and so will love. Onizuka, I love you. I miss your father. I miss you. Man. Do you still have that soccer ball? And maybe you need to come in and respond to what it's like. I'm not in touch with the Smith, but Onizuka, maybe you are. Yeah. 40 years ago today, I hated NASA. Still hate them. And I'm going to hold them accountable with the truth. Gabriel Rains, Sacred Wiccans, KCAA Radio, an NBC affiliate, not affiliated with NBC. Soon to be on Indy 100. And Houston, I love you. Seabrook, family, I got your back.